Okay, I have 10:30, so we'll go ahead and start today's class. So, kind of the theme of this class is core and restore. But we're not going to be doing core exercises like planks and things that use wrists and shoulders and legs so much. Everything we're going to do is actually on our back and really kind of isolate the the actual core muscles. And so just a quick little anatomy either review or instructions so that you kind of get an idea of what we're trying to do. A lot of the poses that we do in yoga that either require holding, such as plank, even things like warrior a, um, some of the balancing poses. Yes, there's some flexibility involved, but a lot of it is core strength. And so when we talk about core, we're not talking about that top first layer of abs that's kind of the six pack abs, the rectus abdominis. We're going behind that to the deeper muscles that actually move the spine. So in the front body, they move the spine into flexion. Along the back body, they can move it into extension. And then we have some oblique muscles that help with lateral flexion and twisting. So we're going to be focusing more on kind of the front body core muscles, obliques a little bit, and really isolate them. So even if you've been doing core and you feel like you have a strong core, I think it's always good to kind of slow it down, get back and work those muscles very focused and isolated. We'll build up to some that are a little more challenging. And that way, when you do kind of recreate a pose such as plank, you're kind of creating that muscle memory of what a neutral spine is and how to engage um, those muscles. So, if this is not a class that you're really feeling like you need, maybe think twice because the core, as we continue through our years, really plays a big role in stability of a lot of things that we do. Okay, but if that's not your jam for today's class, then feel free to choose another one. It'll be a fairly short class. First part again is core, and then we'll do some really nice stretches at the end, and I'll actually lead you through a short shavasana. So we'll incorporate that today. I usually am having you do that on your own, but today I will include it for those that can stick around. But we'll be done probably in 30 to 35 minutes today. So, all right. So as always, though, let's first just kind of bring ourselves to the present moment and try to get into a place of stillness. And if you struggle with stillness, sometimes, even though I don't recommend in the long term meditating in bed because that's for sleep and sometimes it'll make you too sleepy. When you first wake up in the morning and you're kind of transitioning from sleep state to awake state, that kind of fuzzy space can be a nice time to more easily access stillness. And so when you're new to meditation or you know the day is going to be really busy, kind of taking advantage of that, just sitting right up in your bed can be useful in the beginning to just see what that can feel like. And another way is, of course, tuning into your breath, but maybe not just so much the rate and rhythm, but think of it as a flowing up and a down so that you start to relax the skin of your face, maybe soften or close your eyes, soften through the shoulders, the thighs, and start to first bring awareness to your heart center so that we cultivate a place and a state of uplifting energy, higher frequency. And so you can tap into some of the energy that center can evoke, such as gratitude, joy, love. You might see vibration or feel vibration, see colors. literally see the words spelled out. But all of that helps to increase the amount of attention and energy there and bring you into that place. So as you continue to tune in to what that is about, you can imagine that energy starting at the base of your spine. And as you inhale, you're drawing it all the way up the spine, up to the top of your head and beyond. Pausing there for a moment. And then as you exhale slowly and fully, that energy starts to just like a waterfall trickle back down to the length of your spine, to the tip of your tailbone. Just follow that a couple more times on your own, inhaling the energy up, pausing at the top, and exhaling it all the way back down. At the end of your next exhalation, bring your palms together at your heart center. Press the left into the right into the left. And maybe even actually touch your sternum with your thumbs. Think about increasing the space between the bottom of your rib cage and the top of your pelvis. Feel that energy circulating around and through all parts of your body. And then gently opening the eyes as we move into our class. So again, all this will be on the mat. So you can go ahead and make your way down onto your back. And we're just going to begin with actually just a little bit of stretch. So just bring one knee into your chest, extend the other leg out, maybe make a couple of circles with that ankle, the bent knee. And then we'll switch, bring the other knee in, extend the opposite leg out, maybe a few circles. And we'll just go back and forth a couple more times, just hugging knee to chest, lengthening through the other leg, and switch. Switch. And one more time, other side. Good. Bring both knees in. We're going to kind of continue that with more core activation, but before we do that, bring your feet to the mat, hip width apart, and take your hands so that your fingers are pointing towards each other and the thumbs are kind of coming around towards the back body. So they're, if they could reach, they'd touch each other on the back side of your body. And right now you may feel some space underneath your low back, and that's fine. We're going to exaggerate that as we take our pelvis into what's called an anterior pelvic tilt. So you can use your pinkies to kind of push that part of your pelvis towards the mat, and your thumbs are pulling up, creating more of an arch. And then we're going to reverse it. We're going to think about our index fingers pulling them upper abs down and back, pubic bone closer to your sternum, and flattening the low back into the floor. So you shouldn't be pushing out with the abs. That's rectus abdominis. We want to be drawing that in and down towards the mat. So again, as you inhale, we're increasing space under the low back. And as you exhale, you're drawing the belly in and tilting the pelvis back. So without using hands, just try that a couple more times on your own to really feel, especially for today, what's happening in the posterior pelvic tilt when you're flattening your belly down pubic bone closer to the sternum. After your next posterior pelvic tilt, low back's pressing down, take it out just a tiny bit so you're more in a neutral spine. And now really feel that, hold that, bring your right knee into your chest and extend the left leg out. So check, are you still using those core muscles to draw the belly down and in? Should be a little space under your back and you're breathing. Maintain that position and slowly, because we got to really make sure we're holding that position of the spine and the abs, switch. Inhale, bring the right knee in, extend the left leg out as you exhale. Inhale, switching, exhale. So go slow enough so that if you noticed you're starting to push your abs out or your low back is kind of too much space between it and the mat, then you can pause and reset before continuing. So hopefully you're at least feeling those muscles activate. Maybe not burning, maybe not doing a lot, but you should feel those muscles working. Okay. So now we're going to bring both feet back down and we're going to do a few bridges, but not like our high holding bridge. This is just focusing on the core. So we'll go into a little bit of a pelvic tilt first, drawing the low abs in and down. Palms can be down by your side, palms into the mat. Hold that belly down and in, and even more as you start to tilt the pelvis back and start to lift. Initially, your lower ribs are pressing into the mat, but now we're going to start lifting them. So we're not going too high because we're now going to hold that engagement of the abs. And as you slowly lower down, keep the lower abs in, feel the lower ribs touch, and come back to a neutral spine, not an anterior pelvic tilt, but a neutral spine. Okay, again, draw the belly down and in. Feel the tailbone start to roll up and off the mat. Continue lifting up a little bit more of the low back and the lower ribs. Keep those knees squeezing against your imaginary block. We're not going very high. Again, drawing belly still down towards the spine. We're going to lower it back down nice and slow. So now rather than the rolling, we're just going to try to maintain that neutral spine up and down a few times. Make sure that you're breathing, keeping chin away from chest and lower. Okay, one more time, lifting up and come all the way back down. Okay, we're moving into a crunch. This is different than the kind of rectus abdominis where elbows are wide and you're keeping your head up and looking up. We want to go deeper than that. So in this case, we're going to tuck the chin in a little bit and more rounding, bringing the shoulders off the mat, elbows towards each other. And as you do that, make sure your hands are supporting the head. So your biceps might get tired as you do that, but do support your head and really feel your belly drawing down and in. So if it's pushing out, wrong, in, kind of like you're curling here. All right, supporting your head, elbows in. And we're just going to do tiny crunches. So rather than this, remember we're almost like you're scooping out ice cream. So tiny little pulses here, not going all the way back down so that you really keep that engagement of the core. You don't want to pull on your neck, but you do want to support your neck. Exhale as you come up. Inhale, come down. We'll slow them down a little bit. Exhale, curling up, hold. Inhale, away. Exhale, curling. Inhale, away. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. Just a few more. It can help to kind of do an audible exhalation. And that'll help remind you to draw the belly in. One more. And then release your head back down. Take a rest for a moment here. And between our sets, if you want to windshield wiper your knees side to side. Great. So you can stay with that expression of the crunch, or you can progress to the next level. Before we go anywhere, though, we again want to just check in with the core. So a little bit of space, but draw the belly down and in, and tighten everything down and cinch it in. And if you'd like to this time, you can lift your legs up so that thighs are perpendicular, right angle at the hips, right angle at the knees, knees over hips. So not super close, not too far away. If you want to go there, again, double check, core in and down. And then we're going to repeat what we did with the crunch. So fingers behind the head, draw the elbows in, and think about drawing your lower ribs towards your pelvic rim to roll up and then back down. Roll it up and back down. Exhale up. Inhale back. Exhale up. Inhale back. Check that you're supporting the head and not pulling with your shoulders and neck to get there. You're using those core muscles to draw your shoulders towards your thighs a bit. Squeeze your thighs together. Double check that you're not pushing the abs out up towards the ceiling. And that you're using your hands, biceps to support your head. I mean, that head's heavy. It's 8 to 10 pounds, so your biceps might be sore after this class, actually, along with hopefully those deep inner ab muscles, core. Do a few more here. Just close your eyes and really tune in to the muscles you're trying to engage. Three more. Exhale, curling up. Inhale, down. Exhale, curl. Inhale, down. Exhale, curl. This time, hold it up. See if you can bring your shoulders up a little bit more. Breathe while holding the pose. Draw those abs down. And exhale, head to the mat. Release the feet. And if you want to, windshield wiper knees side to side. Okay, building from that, you can stay always with the level we did before. Hands behind the head. Go ahead and draw those abs in, create a neutral spine, and bring the legs off the mat as you did before. Check again that you still have the abs engaged, drawing down, and then start to use the upper inner core to bring the shoulders and head off the mat, elbows towards each other. So holding the upper body as it is, you can try extending one leg out, bring it in, and the other leg out, and bring it in. If it gets too much on your head and neck, then you can do it with the head down, and really keep your attention on those lower abs. So if you start to feel your back arch off the mat as you extend the leg out, maybe keep them higher. Your extension is more towards the ceiling than the wall in front of you. Mindful and slow. Stay with your breath. Keep checking in. So it really requires a lot of attention and concentration to not just use momentum with the leg muscles and forget about what we're trying to do here. You should start to feel a pretty decent burn by now. I am. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Okay, one more each side. Relax the head down, arms out to the side, feet back to the mat, and windshield wiper side to side. Hopefully you're feeling a pretty good burn already. If you're not, just maybe go back and do those pelvic tilts a few more times and hold, especially at the end of your pelvic tilt there, and really draw the abs in. And that alone can be a really nice isolating exercise where you're not using hip flexors, you're not using neck, shoulders, and other muscles. So you can always go back to those. Okay, if you're ready to continue, our next one is gonna be kind of building from that last one. We're gonna be doing some toe taps. So fingertips behind the head, supporting the head fully. Draw the abs into that strong neutral position and lift one knee up and then the other knee up. Check in with those abs. Start to peel the shoulders and head off the mat, elbows towards each other. You scooped out your ice cream around the belly area. And now breathing. We're going to use our breath to really feel this and make sure that we're really contracting those abs down when we tap our toes. So an inhale is here, and then exhale, tap the left toe. Bring it up on your inhale, tap the opposite. Inhale, up, tap. So you're just going to keep alternating the toe tapping, making that noise to really help you draw the belly down and in. Like you're cinching a seatbelt. Again, it's the head and neck. If you feel like you're not using your hands enough to support the head, just bring your head and shoulders down. Focus on just the leg portion. A few more. One more each side. Nice. Head down, feet down. And twisting a little bit side to side through the hips and legs. Okay. Just a few more. We're going to kind of build on what we did. What I'm going to do next. So this one will use a little bit more of the obliques. It'll be that same kind of crunch that we did before. Maybe start with the feet down and option of lifting them up kind of halfway through. So crunching up, elbows in, draw the belly down and towards the mat, hold that position. And so it's not going to be like a full bicycle here. We're just going to focus on bringing the shoulder towards the opposite thigh. So right shoulder towards the left thigh as you exhale. Breathe in and out while there. Come back to center on an inhale. Exhale, left shoulder towards right thigh, belly drawing down, but still inhale, exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale, right shoulder towards right thigh. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, left shoulder towards left thigh. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, center. If you want to lift the legs up, we're going to do more with our breath. Exhale, right to left. Inhale, center. Exhale, opposite. Inhale, center. Exhale, opposite. Draw that belly down. Hold your head with your hands. Exhale, opposite. A few more on your own. That Ujjayi breath that you know can really be useful here, especially the exhalation part. All right, one more on each side or whatever to make it even. Back to center. Relax the the feet and the head down. Hopefully you're doing okay out there. Feeling this a bit. A lot of heat in the belly area. All right. One more to do here, and this one, I made a list. I want to make sure I get through them all. With this last one, it's really, again, isolating more the lower abs. And so it can be done, you can just stick with the pelvic tilt. You can bring the legs here, or if your hamstrings will allow for you to straighten the legs, so 90-degree angle, imagine your feet pressing into the ceiling. And all this is going to be, I'm going to start it with knees bent, is a slight tilt of the pelvis. So notice the only thing that's moving is tiny movement, is my pelvis rocking back. The angle of my hips, I shouldn't be seeing this. That's using hip flexors. Just a tiny, very tiny movement, drawing in and down. Okay, same thing with legs up. If you want, you can place your hands under your sacrum a little bit for better support. See what you like. And then just a slight lift up, almost like you're pressing the feet more powerfully into the ceiling. Draw the belly down. It should not be pushing out like that when you do it. It should be drawing down. So just pulsing up and down with your breath. Tuning in, really just maybe even closing your eyes and visualizing those muscles drawing your belly down and in. The pelvic floor muscles, which you're gonna make like a hammock at the base of your pelvic bowl, draw in and up when we're doing a lot of these exercises. So like if you're going pee and you stop peeing midstream, those muscles that help to do that are part of your pelvic floor. And when we engage those, in yoga we call it mula bandha, and then the muscles that are helping to draw the lower ribs towards the spine is engaging some of those upper core muscles, and in yoga, Uddiyana Bandha, energy locks. Okay, just a few more. Check that you're not rocking like this. Just up and down. Great. Bend the knees if they're not already. Place the feet down. A couple more windshield wipers. And final ab exercise, this is going to be using more of the obliques. You can start with those legs up straight if you had them there already, or knees bent. Arms are going to be out to the side, palms down, and you're going to glue your legs together. You are going to, we're not trying to do a spinal twist really, but we're just going to lower the knees just a few inches over to the right, bring it back to center, and then a few inches over to the left and back to center. You don't want to go so far that you can't control it back to center. So tune into that, and the arms kind of help with that balance. So exhaling to one side, back to center. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, back to center. And you might find you can kind of test that range for you. You don't know if you go too far. This can also be done. It's kind of fun if you do it with, if you happen to have an exercise ball between the feet. or even a pillow, or a block even between the thighs. Again, as always, I know I keep saying it, but it's easy for those abs to start trying to push out if that's their habit, but that's not doing us any good. That's not working our core muscles. So keep drawing the belly down and in. Might feel like it's harder to breathe, but you can still breathe doing that. That's why it's helpful to inhale back to center using the diaphragm, and then as you exhale, pushing that air out, you draw the belly down and in. It makes that action a little easier. A few more each side. You finish up to make both sides the same number. And come back to center. Bend the knees. Place the feet down. Windshield wiper. And then bring the arms in. Just a gentle bridge this time. We're looking kind of to stretch out the front body. So draw the shoulder blades a little closer and rock the hips back, lift the hips up. This time, if you'd like to get those arms under you a little bit more, pressing firmly into the inner corners of your feet, spiraling those inner thighs towards the mat and lifting the hips up high to stretch out through the abs and hip flexors. And move the arms out of the way as you slowly lower back down. Good. Bring your right knee into your chest, bend at the ankle, and then cross that ankle over the left thigh, moving into a thread the needle or figure four stretch. Right arm between the two thighs, interlacing the fingers behind your left thigh. And start to draw the left knee in towards your chest. I like to use my elbow to push into the right thigh, pushing the knee a little farther away from my body. If you need any more toe or ankle movements. Keep the shoulders relaxed, head and shoulders down on the mat. Starting to cool it down, calm it down into the restore. I think my timing is a little off. I went a little longer with our core and talking, so I'll still take you through Shavasana, but it is going to hit probably right around the 40 to 45-minute mark when it's all said and done. All right, we'll switch sides for the figure four. Make sure to bring the knee into the chest first and flex that ankle, maintain that position of the ankle as you cross over and bring the right knee in. Shoulders and head down. Trying to keep that left knee away from your body with your left elbow. Full deep breaths. Softening the skin of your face. Relaxing the jaw and the shoulders. Noticing the energy and emotion around your left hip joint and the muscles in that region. Bring the right foot down. We'll move into a left hamstring stretch. So straighten that left knee. And take your hands somewhere behind the leg or even to the foot. If you can reach the foot, bringing the toes closer to your face will bring some of the intensity into the calf. And then encourage the leg towards you. Depending on your back, you can keep the right knee bent or extend that leg out on the floor. Even though you're using the arms, the head is down, the shoulders relaxed. Send your breath up and down along the back of your thigh where your hamstrings reside. They can be stubborn muscles, so be patient with them. Breathing. And we'll switch sides. So if your right knee is straight, bend it. Place the left foot on the mat. Lift the right foot up and find placement for your hands. Shoulders relaxed. Close your eyes. And just see where the leg needs to go. Left knee can stay bent or straight. Keep your mind here in this moment, focused on releasing tightness from behind your leg. They say fear is stored behind our knee, and this is a pose that can help release that fear, break through that fear. Sometimes it really does take some time to stay in the pose and let the body just kind of trust that you're not going to jerk through it, that you're not going to rush. And then it starts to trust, and the muscles start to surrender and melt into the stretch. You can bend your left knee, place that foot down, bring the right foot to join it. So you can either roll to your side to sit up, or you can extend the legs out, draw that belly in. In fact, first we're gonna all stretch and reach through fingers and toes. I wanna do one seated stretch before we come back down. So either roll to your side with knees bent, or use your arms, reach them out in front and try to roll it up to a seated position. Find your sits bones. We'll do a seated forward bend, Paschimottanasana. So legs firmly grounded and together, up on those sit bones. As you exhale, hip creases is where the movement takes place. Pause at that first point of resistance, drawing shoulders back and down away from ears. Couple breaths there, and then slowly you can melt into the full expression of the pose, allowing the back to round, to go into flexion a bit, forehead just below the knees. Pull deep breaths, trying to fill up your back body with air. As you exhale, feel that belly draw against the spine. Great to massage the organs of digestion. Notice where your thoughts are. Next inhale, bring your torso away from the legs. And as you exhale, you can take the hands back by and you can come down the same way. So scoop out that ice cream scoop kind of movement and slowly roll it down one vertebrae at a time. Any final stretch you need here, maybe a spinal twist with knees to one side and then the other. And then to move into position for Shavasana, if you need that bolster under your knees, you can place that there and then extend the legs out so that the heels are about at the width of your mat. Letting the feet just naturally flop out to the side. Your arms are a comfortable distance away from your body, broadening through the shoulder blades and the palms up. Let the fingers just kind of naturally curl in. And then maybe just turn your head side to side a little bit until it settles into a perfect spot of stillness. Start to feel your body melt into the support of your mat. Muscles softening and releasing their grip from the bones. Breath, just finding a rhythm that is not controlled by you, but just natural. And your awareness to the feet, the ankles, and the lower legs. They soften and relax. And your awareness up to the thighs, hips, the glutes. And feel a warmth melting away tension. As they surrender heavily into the support of the ground beneath you. Notice the muscles around the spine and the shoulder blades. Relaxed and broad into the mat. Bring your awareness to the front of your torso as the belly softens. Chest relaxed. Backs of the shoulders sink heavily into the mat as a sense of calmness and relaxation travels down both arms, into the hands, the palms, fingers. Allowing the hands to now receive. They give so much, do so much. Let them receive. All that restorative, calm energy as you bring your awareness to your neck and your throat. A softening of those muscles at the base of your skull. Tingling sensation as your scalp relaxes and encourages the lines and signs of tension to dissolve from your forehead, your eyes relaxing in the socket, the eyelids soft, cheeks and the jaw relaxed. The tongue relaxing away from the roof of your mouth as the lips naturally part. Feel the mind calm, clear. Few more moments here, letting your awareness stay in that state of observation. The thoughts are like clouds. Your awareness is the sky. The clouds do not change the sky. You just float on as the thoughts drift out of your focus. Staying in that pure state of awareness. Feel free, feel free to hit the pause button and linger longer in your Shavasana, your corpse pose. If you're ready to transition out of this state, start to feel your belly rise towards the sky with a deep and full inhalation. And exhale, starting to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Begin moving the ankles and the wrists. Turn the head side to side. Begin bending the knees, walking the feet in. Bending the elbows. And rolling over onto one side, resting your head on your arm for a moment. And then keeping your eyes closed, you can press yourself back up to a seated position. Returning to a posture with an aligned spine. As you observe your state compared to before class, mentally, physically, emotionally. And let this memory of this moment come to you anytime you need that increased sense of peace. Bring your hands together at heart center and truly thank yourself. You've done so much for your nervous system, creating a bit of balance so that all of those functions of the digestive system, the lymph system, the repair and restore part of your body gets a chance to do its job. And then you can open your eyes. Thanks for spending part of your time with me. And I thank you for being a part of this class. Have a great rest of your day.